Good evening, everybody! Welcome to round 2 of our 1979 DRM Division 2 series, coming to you from the Hockenheimring in Germany. I am Jason White. I'll be your play-by-play announcer for this event. Our drivers are in their warm-up session right now, getting used to full fuel loads. After a very, whoops, there goes Philip. Just a little too much power too soon. Let me run down the top 10 for you in qualifying as time expired. Consider this, the top 13 cars in qualifying were all turbocharged. So that gives you an idea of the advantage they have over the normally aspirated power plants. In first position in qualifying, Grant Riddall with a time of 2 minutes, 5 seconds, .813. Just 0.13 of a second back is David Saber in second. Third, Ray Riddall. Fourth, Nicholas Kirsten. Fifth, Cesariusz Lipinski. Sixth, Anders Nilsson. Seventh, Juha Boss. Eighth, Matthew Sibignani. Ninth, Alberto Aquino. And rounding out the top 10 is Ricardo Mendez. That is your top 10 in qualifying for this second round of our 1979 DRM Division 2 series. So here we are at the Hockenheimring, probably the second most famous circuit in Germany after the magnificent old 14-mile Nürburgring. We'll be using the full Hockenheim circuit, as you can see here, with no Ostkurve chicane. That was installed after the tragic F1 testing accident of Patrick Depailler in 1980. When not driving flat out, our drivers will be tasked with negotiating the 2 chicanes you see there, followed by the vast stadium section, which leads them back to the start-finish area. And that's where you might see a lot of interesting action with the cars slipping and sliding around. Our drivers will be going for 20 laps tonight, a little under 136 kilometers. Watch for lots of oversteer during the race, as the cars are likely trimmed out to achieve the fastest possible speed through that pine forest. Also consider the stress of these engines, in particular the turbocharged plants. They may have been the fastest in qualifying, but if you push them too hard, they can blow up on you. So don't be surprised if we see several cars giving up the ghost just before the end of the race. I think that's a very high likelihood, given the stress that they'll be under. So let's take a look at the point standings going into today's race. Anders Nilsson, having won the last race, is at the top with 20 points. Liam Dolan is in second with 15. Alberto Aquino is in third with 12. That was a podium that he was very happy with. Fourth is Richard Wilkes with 10 points, and then David Yunt enters the top 5 with 8 points. Just reminding you what the point scheme is in this series. 20 points for first place, 15 for second, 12 for third, 10 for fourth, 8 for fifth, 6 for sixth, very symmetrical there, 4 for seventh, 3 for eighth, 2 for ninth, and 1 for 10th place. To be classified, drivers must cross the finish line after the winning driver has finished, and that actually costed people some points in round 1. And the best 9 results of the championship will count towards the championship total for each driver. So let's go out in the circuit now and see if we can hitch a ride with somebody and have a look at this temple of speed that is the Hockenheimring. See if we can find somebody who's about to finish a lap. Here's Nicholas Kirsten. He's entering the stadium right now, so he's just finishing a lap, and provided he goes for another one, we'll have a chance to look around Hockenheim. Rounding the stadium section, trying to keep the car underneath him. I'm sure that this is a challenge given the high-speed nature of the track. As I said before, I think a lot of drivers will be trimmed out. All right, so here we are on board now with Nicholas Kirsten as he exits the final turn, goes past the start-finish line. Now into the first right-hander, downshifting here. And you can see there's a little bit of room off to the left there, but it's grass covered. We might see some people take to that part of the track on lap 1, if for no other reason than to simply make more room, but they probably won't be wanting to do that because it's slippery there. Now Nicholas is just driving as flat out as he can through the pine forest here, and eventually you can see the numbers here, 300, 200, 100, eventually at about 100 here, he brakes for the first chicane, a right, left, right combination. He's using the curbs there, so these cars are softly sprung enough that getting on those curbs is not a terrible thing. But you can see he was just on the brink of adhesion. Now accelerating down towards the Ost curve, which again does not have a chicane as of yet. Downshifting. And this is a place where you might see a lot of people get their slide on before they exit right here. Now heading back the way we came through the pine forest. And here we go with another chicane. This is chicane number 2. Left, right, left. Accelerating hard once again. Coming up to the stadium section, where suddenly the trees will just disappear and you'll be faced with a wall of people. Nicholas downshifts at about the 100 mark there, heading into the stadium. Look at all the people. Accelerating out to a very fast and slightly banked left-hand hairpin, which is fun to take in any car. It could be this type of a car. It could be an F1 car. It's a lot of fun. Now a left and right combination through the stadium. Another right-hand turn. This is fairly fast, this one, and the next one also deceptively quick. Heading right. Back onto the start-finish straight, and that is one lap of Hockenheimring. Let's go for one more lap here with Kirsten looking from the outside. Here he is, downshifting for the first turn. You can see there's plenty of room offline there, and there's the, I believe that those catch fencing bits are not collidable, and that's probably a good thing for our drivers. Now, see, here's where things get interesting. He's in the tow of another car here, that being K.O. McKeel's, pulls out, passes. We're going to see a lot of slipstreaming in this race. That'll make things very interesting, and the key will be to get your pass done before you come down to a chicane like he's doing right here. Nicholas Kirsten through the first chicane. Accelerates out. There are a few people in the pine forest here, so I guess if you have the right credentials, you can get down here and have a look at the cars at speed. But the main group of people were always in the stadium section in these vast concrete grandstands they have there. Now Nicholas Kirsten into the Ost curve. Comes out of the Ost curve. Very well controlled, very clean. Heading back the opposite way now through the pine forest. And he's going to take the next chicane, which is a left, right, left. You can see that the road goes in the normal way that it does, and the drivers are expected to take the chicane and not cut it. And I'm sure that there's penalties involved if you cut the chicane. So here's Nicholas coming out of the second chicane. Heading towards the stadium section. And look, he's using all the road that he can there. Maybe a little, he could use a little more, but he's definitely starting out as wide as he can. Look at how wide he goes on the exit of that turn. Through this left-hand banked hairpin. Now the nice and very fast right, left. Got to keep the car underneath you. Heading into the second to last turn. Look at the banking that's there too. And there's a little bit of banking in this one too. The final turn. Heading back onto the main straight. And that is one lap, again, of Hockenheimring. We've got 4 minutes to go in this session. A few more things that I'd like to go through before we get on with the program here of the second round, the DRM 1979 Division 2 series. See who else is running here. Schlapinski, he did very well in qualifying. He's going to be starting from 5th position in his BMW. And keep in mind, as I said before, the top 13 cars, they're all turbocharged. 14th is the first normally aspirated car on the grid, which really gives you an idea of the supremacy of the turbochargers here. Look at Slapinski hang out the car there. That's cool. This circuit may not have a lot of character, but it's certainly, if you like to go fast, this is the place for you. No question about that. So coming up at ISO, in 1 week, we're going to switch gears and we're going to go IndyCar racing. Once again, the second round of our 15-round PPG IndyCar World Series It is the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach, a really fantastic race, very challenging through the streets of Long Beach, concrete canyon the whole way through. You make a mistake, your race is likely over. That's going to be on Sunday, February 9th, green flag at 2000 CET. Lots of people already practicing this one on the server, and I think it should be a very interesting race. Very different, of course, to the 1 mile oval that we ran at Phoenix to open the series. So that one will likely be broadcast by Johnny Aces. I'm going to be taking part in the race, at least as long as I can survive it. Not my favorite track, but if you're calm and keep your car off the wall, who knows, you might end up with a really good finish. So attrition may be the order of the day in 1 week's time. Trivia question for you to ponder while we look at this race. Hockenheimring has hosted the German Grand Prix a long time, and it hosted the race for 30 consecutive years between 1977 through 2006, with the exception of which year? Is it A, 1975, B, 1985, or is it C, 1995? We'll have the answer later on in the broadcast. All right, so not much time left to go here. That's Cesarius completing another lap. And we got a 1 minute 47 here. The task for the turbocharged entries obviously is going to be to make sure that they're going as fast as they can without blowing the engine. And my guess is that there will be some people who will be too over-exuberant, and that's going to happen to them. Hopefully, it won't happen to the bulk of the field. I mean, I think that's probably the plan for the normally aspirated cars. They're waiting for the turbos to blow up so they can move up the field. Very critical in this race is going to be maintaining contact with the cars in front of you via slipstreaming. If you lose the slipstream of the car in front of you, that's not good for the race because you'll just lose touch with the front end of the field. So slipstreaming definitely is going to be very critical, and who makes the least mistakes. I'm sure there are going to be some cars that go off into the grass briefly simply because of the lack of downforce they have, but the fewer mistakes you make with regard to traversing a lap here, the better off you're going to be. That's pretty basic stuff. 49 seconds to go now. And this is a full field. This is a 24-car grid, so it'll be interesting. Probably lots of action all throughout the field. We'll probably see a lot of slipstreaming on the first lap. Cars will probably start to break into packs after the first couple of laps or 3 laps. But it'll be interesting to see if Anders can capitalize on his 6th place starting position today and then just continue the winning ways that he was established at the start of the season in race number 1. Here you can see how things sometimes get a bit awkward at the chicane. Could cause some issues for our drivers. Hopefully not big, giant ones. There's Augusto making room for, I believe that's Philip Wieczek, yeah. Anyway, so we're glad that you're here with us to watch the second round of the 1979 DRM Division 2 series. Hopefully it'll be an exciting one, and it will go fast. Oh, look at this. Wieczek, see, that's the thing. The catch fencing there is not collidable, but the Armco barrier there certainly was. So everybody's going to have to be very careful to keep their car on the track, if for no other reason to avoid the barriers. All right, so we're going to, there's 25 cars, 26 in the race. I guess some people arrived late and didn't take part in qualifying, or they found that they didn't have enough time to make a full lap here. If you're going to make a full lap for qualifying, you got to have at least 2 minutes and change to use. The drivers were limited to 12 laps for qualifying. That's another factor to consider. So here we are now going to the race session, 20 laps on the board. This ought to go by pretty quickly, even though this is a fairly long circuit. But there you see Grant on the pole. We are going to go through the cars for you. Once they start off on their reconnaissance lap, it should be a rolling start with these cars. Yes, the race will feature a formation lap followed by the rolling start. All right, so here we go. off on the parade lap. On the pole, Grant Riddall, D&W Team Zach Speed number 2. In second is David Saber, Sachs Sporting number 1. Third, Ray Riddall in the Mampe Zach Speed number 3. Fourth is Nicholas Kirsten in the Walter Brunn number 20 BMW. Cezary Lipinski is fifth in the Karl-Heinz Becker number 13 BMW. Sixth is Anders Nilsson in the Emo Klein Racing team number 12. Juha Boss is starting in 7th with Rodenstock Verth team number 4. Sporting that really unique front fender design, Matthew Sibignani, Rodenstock Verth team number 5. Ninth will be Alberto Aquino. He finished 3rd last time out. Team Varsteiner, TBS number 11. 10th, Ricardo Mendez, Team Albert Rodenstock number 9. 11th is Richard Wilkes, Holman Automations number 23 BMW. Miguel Drexler starts 12th in the Jägermeister Racing, team number 6, very iconic livery there. And Simon Watman is supposed to start 13th, but he's stopped on the circuit. Not sure what's going on here, but I doubt he's going to have a chance to get back to his starting place at this point. We'll see what happens. He'll probably end up starting last. 14th on the grid, Giovanni Centorami, Team Le Pitre Champagne, number 17. 15th, also with Jägermeister colors, is Tim Hilla, car number 7. 16th, David Watman, Willie F. Racing Team number 22. Liam Dolan is 17th, Autohaus K. Oppitauser, number 16. 18th, David Yunt in the Autohaus K. Oppitauser, number 15. That looks like a BMW 2002. 19th, Philip Witaszek, Team Immobilien G. Rice, number 18. Bruno Chacon driving a very, very interesting car here. This is I believe this is the Lotus. Let's see here. Oh, this is interesting. We're actually stopping the parade lap, and it appears that we're going to go back to we're going back to the warm-up session. Apparently somebody might have left the server. I doubt that was done for the benefit of Simon Watman, because I've seen races start even though people can't get off the grid properly or something goes wrong. So somebody must have left the server. So it looks like we're going to have to wait for a second here until we go to the race session. So everyone please stand by. We'll be back in just a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
We now join the following program already in progress.
All right, so that didn't take too long. We're back at the race setup and for the server, and now we're going to go ahead and do one more lap around here. Not entirely sure what happened there, but probably somebody left the server. That would be my guess. Trying to find the right view here. Oh, I missed it again. Shoot. I'll go through the grid one more time, if for no other reason than to just practice my diction. On the pole, Grant Riddall, D&W Team Zach Speed number 2. In second, David Saber, Sachs Sporting number 1. That's a beautiful car. Third, probably the car that we see a lot of in the graphics here, but we think it's really sweet looking, so there you go. Ray Riddall, Mampe Zach Speed number 3. Fourth, Nicholas Kirsten, Walter Brunn number 20. Fifth, Cezary Lipinski, Karl-Heinz Becker, number 13. And you have Anders Nilsson in the Emo Klein Racing team, number 12. You have Boss, Rotenstock, Verth, team number 4. Matthew Sibignani, Rotenstock, Verth, team number 5 in 8th place. 9th is Alberto Aquino, team Varsteiner, TBS number 11. 10th is Ricardo Mendez, team Albrecht, Rotenstock number 9. 11th is Richard Wilkes, Hoffman Automations number 23. 12th, Mikael Drexler, Jägermeister Racing team number 6. 13th, Simon Wattman. Man, he got a break. He's back where he should be on the grid in his Sachs Sporting number 2. 14th is Giovanni Centorami, number 17, BMW. 15th is Tim Hilla, Jägermeister Racing team number 7. 16th, David Wattman, Willie F. Racing team number 22. Liam Dolan, Autohaus K. Oppetzhauser number 16. And same team, but number 15, even though it says 3 on there. That's interesting. David Yunt starting 18th. 19th, Philip Wieticek, number 18, BMW, starting 20th. And a very interesting Ford product here is Bruno Chacon, number 22. And the only Lotus Esprit in the field, run by Nick Holliday today. I believe this is a one-off drive. Yes, this car is normally driven by Brian Janik. Today he's not here, so Nick Holliday is stepping in to the cockpit this time. 22nd, K.O. McKeels. Lothar Wagner, number 18. Ashley Johnson in the Krankenberg GS Tuning, number 24. This is also a one-off drive. Claudio Augusto in his Alfa Isert, number 14. Only Alfa Romeo in the field. 25th on the grid is Johnny Aces, driving the Team Albert Rotenstock number 10. 26th on the grid, and I believe the last car is Jules Bouchard, number 16 BMW. And yes, that is the last car in the grid. So we've got a very full field here. Should make for a very interesting race. The drivers are now entering the stadium section, and the car that you're looking at, Grant Riddall, he has the field under control, and I'm sure that he was told in the warm-up session the speed that he's supposed to keep his car at to maintain a good packed field for the start. Here they come through, and assuming that everything is good and sanitary, the servers should give them a green flag. Here they come. They're starting to get into their rows of 2. Here we come, looking for the start. And the race is underway. Grant Riddall goes into the lead. David Saber in second. And here they go into the corner for the first time. Let's see if everybody gets through without any trouble. Looks pretty good. Don't see any issues. Good, clean start by everybody. Now, here we go, heading down into the pine forest really fast here. And you see Grant Riddall in the lead there. David Saber pulling out to pass him, to go into the lead. Yes, Saber takes first place in his Sachs Zaxby Turbo. Heading now down towards the first chicane. Saber, starting second, has taken the lead away from Grant Riddall. Going through the first chicane. Let's see if everything goes. Oh, some people take into the grass, but overall looks pretty good. Not too much trouble. Everybody making their way through. Excellent so far. And look at this. Here comes Saber. Back on the outside, Grant Riddall trying to take the lead, going on the inside, but can't do it. Into the Ostkurb chicane. Not the chicane, sorry, I'm so used to saying that. That is a sweeping turn. There is no chicane yet. And oh my goodness, Kirsten heads off the circuit for just a moment, but fortunately no problem. Is able to rejoin. And here they come towards the second chicane. And look at that. There's Slapinski trying to overtake Kirsten. They touch briefly there, but Kirsten's going to keep the position as they head out of the second chicane. Now heading back towards the stadium section, Saber in the lead, establishing himself very early. Grant Riddall in second, his father Ray Riddall in third, Kirsten fourth, Slapinski fifth. Here they come around that hairpin, and you can see how loose the cars are going through here. Looks as if everybody's going to complete lap 1 in full trim. That's great. No parts missing. That's great to see. Sabre completes lap number 1 in the lead, 19 to go. Into lap number 2. Cars threading their way through the start-finish area. Dolan has a brief look in the inside there, but can't get it done. So now here's an opportunity, possibly, for Kirsten to pull out and pass Ray, but I don't think it's going to happen here. Yeah, it looks like everybody's going to stay. Oh, but look at this. Here's Sibignani going up the inside of Nilsson. Is he going to take the position? No. Nilsson defends on the inside very well. Look at this. Grant Riddall is tucked right up behind Sabre. I don't think he's going to have room to do a pass here at the Ost curve. He's looking. He's having a look. He's letting Sabre know that he's there. He's got a little bit of a roll on the outside there, but I don't think there's any room for him there. Heading back the way we came. Very high-speed action here, and these guys are on the absolute brink of adhesion. It may look easy. Trust me, it is not. Coming down towards the second chicane. Sabre in the lead. Grant in second. Ray in third. See if anybody pops out here and tries to overtake, but it appears that's not going to happen. Here's some action coming back here. It looks like one overtake might happen. It's Liam Dolan might be able to take that car on the inside. You can see them back there going through the chicane. Here we come back to the stadium. Sabre still in the lead. Ray Riddall third. Nicholas Kirsten fourth. Here we go, looking from the chopper shot, coming out of that hairpin, heading towards the two last left-handers on the circuit. Looking at Schlapinski right now. Coming back onto the front straight to complete lap 2. Sabre still in the lead. Now he took that first place with authority, but he is not notably sprinting away from Grant at this time. So Grant still has a chance possibly to catch him. These cars are starting to spread out a little bit here. And you can see how coming off of that final turn, if you make a mistake and touch the grass, it'll slow you down. And that might be just enough to give your competition the room to pass you. Here we come down to the first chicane. Sabre exits the chicane with Grant in hot pursuit. Here they come through the pine forest at high speed. Don't see anybody trying any overtaking maneuvers here. And you see there's a huge breakaway there between that last car and now this one, which I believe is Simon. So it doesn't take long before you have an issue where you lose the slipstream in the front and you start to fall back. That's certainly not happening at the front here. A good cluster of cars. Grant tucked up right behind David Sabre. Is he going to attempt an overtake here before the chicane? I don't think he can do it. I think, no, there's just not enough room. And with these cars as wide as they are, you don't have to work very hard on this Hockenheim circuit to keep the car behind you, because as you can see, they start with the stock cars and they pull the wheels way out. The silhouette's the same, which is why they're called silhouette cars. God, really close a fight here as Sabre takes as much road as he possibly can, heading into the stadium section. Downshifting, you can see a fire blasting out of the exhaust there. Raw fuel. And now heading through this small chicane. Yeah, these other BMWs starting to struggle to hold on here to the front group. Sabre in his #1 Sachs Sporting Ford Capri. Beautiful car. And it could very well be, this is turning into a 3-car battle now. Looking from the, oh, look at this. Here comes Grant. Grant's right with him. Is he going to try to overtake him here going into the chicane? He kind of backed off there. It's like he thought better of it. Not a good idea. He might be waiting for later on in the race. He might be interested in conserving his car right now, which would not be a bad idea. Because if you're just pushing like hard with these cars the whole way through. You know, you don't want to be in a situation where your engine expires after all that work. And look at this now. It appears that Grant is under attack from Nicholas Kirsten. We have one retirement. Ashley Johnson out of the race for some reason. Kirsten on the outside there, but there's not enough room to overtake. So he's going to continue shadowing Grant Riddall going through the Ost curve. Look at the loose condition there for Grant coming off the Ost curve. So yeah, I was right. There's going to be a lot of oversteer happening here. Meanwhile, Grant is being, Ray Riddall is being shadowed by Ślepinski going into here. Here's another nice chopper shot. So Ślepinski is able to maintain that slipstream and stay close. Takes the car very deep into the corner. You can see how everyone is just on the very edge of the track, just trying to find the best line, the fastest line around. Saber's going to lead them once again into the stadium section. Looking again from the chopper, heading into that left-hand banked hairpin. Oh, David ran wide there a little bit. That's going to allow Grant to catch up a little bit. Kirsten staying right with him, and then Ray Riddall. Interesting. So that's the other thing that you have to keep. Oh my goodness! Saber with a very loose moment coming out of the second to last turn. So this race is by no means over. Entering lap number 5 now. So the race is a fifth of the way over. Into the first turn again is Saber. But he doesn't want to have any more of those situations. Oh my goodness, no! There's an accident! A big accident! Kirsten's involved. Grant Riddall is involved, and his engine is gone. He's out of the race. Let's look at a replay of what happened here. Grant coming through the first turn. What happened here? He ran a bit wide there, and he got hit from behind, it appears, by Nicholas Kirsten, it appears. Yeah, and there was a chain reaction. I don't think, no, I'm sorry, is it Kirsten? Yeah, it is. I don't think that he was expecting, there might have been a slight deceleration there, and that caused a chain reaction accident. My goodness. So that really changes things at the front. Oof. Those cars, at least 2 now, are out of the race. Kirsten is out of the race, and Grant's going to be joining that list very shortly. So 3 retirements so far, and now Saber's got a good gap, a good cushion between himself and the number 3 car of Ray Riddall. We'll see if he can close down. He's got 2 cars behind him. One of them, Matthew Sibignani, with that really interesting front end design on his Beamer, and then Ślepinski not too far behind. Nilsson, who won the last race, is in 5th place at the moment. So a very violent accident there heading into the first turn. You can see back there Sibignani in 3rd now, taking a look at Ray Riddall, but not able to do anything. Heading through the stadium section one more time. So we got a cluster of 5 cars there. Next up is Juha Boss. Something might be wrong with his front air dam there. Saber, 1.2 seconds now free of Ray Riddall in 2nd. 3rd, Matthew Sibignani, and we know what a charger he is. He's not going to be content to sit in 3rd. He wants to get Ray Riddall sitting right in front of him, but he's going to have to worry about Ślepinski just behind him. Heading down towards the first chicane, looking from the chopper shot. Here they come. So this group of 5 cars is essentially broken away from the rest of the field. Heading into the first chicane, Matthew is looking, but not really in a position where, well, he's real close there, but he looks like he got a roll off there. Maybe he can pull out and pass. It looks, yes, he's looking at possibly passing Ray. Is he going to get it done? Can he out-drag him before they get to the Ost curve? It looks like Ray has a bit of a roll, and for the moment at least, it appears Matthew's going to beat him there. Yes, Matthew Sibignani up to 2nd place. Just managed to out-drag Ray Riddall to that corner. And now we accelerate back towards the stadium. So change in the front of the order. Well, not the front, but in 2nd place. Sibignani now in 2nd. Leader is Saber. Ray Riddall 3rd. Cezary Ślepinski is 4th, Anders Nilsson is 5th, and then we got a gap back to Ricardo Mendez, who's in 6th place. Juha has dropped Juha is now 6th. Ricardo is 7th. And look at Sibignani. Here he goes. Is he going to do it? It looks like he is. He's got a roll. Coming into the stadium. He's on the outside. Is he going to sweep around? Yes, he does it. Just on the inside of the next corner, Sibignani makes it stick. Nice pass. Very well executed. But Saber is still there, and I doubt that he's going to fade back now. He's going to make an attempt to get that back. But the other thing we haven't talked about, tire degradation. I'm sure that it's not as bad as it is on some other courses, but if you spend too much time sideways, I'm sure you're going to wear down the tires quite a lot. But look at this. Here's David staying right with Sibignani. He had a little bit of a better exit of that last turn as they headed to turn number 1. Slipinski is stuck between Nilsson and Ray Radal. And if these three aren't careful, they're going to lose touch with the front 2 cars. Looking backward, here's another cluster coming through here. Ricardo Mendez at the head of it. Juha is in 7th. Wiltz is in 8th. And 9th is Alberto Aquino, who was 3rd in the last race. Then a little bit further back, you've got Drexler rounding out the top 10. Through the chicane once again, and it appears that there's been a problem with, oh my goodness, there has been an issue of some kind with, let's see. Yeah. I don't know what happened there, but Sibignani is actually, oh, he's in the lead. Yes, of course he is. I should have known that, but I didn't expect him to pull out a gap that far. I'm like, where'd he go? Yeah, he's actually pulled out a decent gap already, about 7/10. I thought for a second he might have discoed, but no, that's not the case. So here's Sibignani. Look at the gap he's pulling out here. Now the question is he stressing his car too much? Is he going to be able to make it to the finish without the car blowing up on him? We'll have to watch and see. Remember, all these front-running cars here, they're all turbocharged. So, and what a fantastic start for Sibignani, too. You look at the graphic there, he's 7 places ahead of where he started. So that's quite a charge. Saber, he's basically where he was at the start. So is Ray, and Cesarius is up 1 spot. Nilsson up 1 spot. Juha up 1 spot. Mendez up 3 spots. Wiltz up 3 spots. And Alberto Aquino is about where he started. So here comes Ray Radal with, oh my goodness, see how loose Slipinski was coming out of that corner. That cost him a great deal of time there. And it looks like he may fall back into the clutches of Nilsson now if he's not careful. Nilsson exiting the last corner here, got in the grass a little bit. Sibignani continues to lead. Saber in 2nd. Radal in 3rd. The Ray Radal, because Grant is out of the race. And look at this long gap here. But look at this. Here's Juha coming up the inside. Or it's Mendez actually looking at Juha and decides not to take the pass there. But here we come down the high-speed section. Sibignani, Saber, Ray Radal, Slipinski, Anders Nilsson. Then there's a long, long gap back to the next cluster of cars. That's what happens when you lose the slipstream. Juha Boss, Ricardo Mendez, and others coming down to the Ost Curve chicane. Only 3 retirements so far, and 7 laps completed by our leader. Heading through the Ost Curve one more time. Look at Slipinski getting his slide on. My goodness, going through the Ost Curve. The back end of that BMW is just absolutely hanging out on all these corners. And that's, I mean, I'm sure, don't get me wrong, it's fascinating to watch, but that's not the fastest way to go. Let's see how he gets through this, using a lot of the curb there, and yeah, getting a little sideways there, but not really. He really wants to try to get by Ray at some point here. He's sticking right with him. Is it possible he could do it going into the stadium here? No, not quite. Not enough room. Not close enough yet. Heading into the stadium section now. This is a good shot here from the chopper. And actually, look at that. It appears that, yeah, David Saber is losing more ground. This is going to be a 3-car battle now right here. Sibignani has pulled out a big gap. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens back here now. It looks like Sibignani has the superior setup for this course, and it just took him a while to get to the front. But my goodness, well, looking forward from Saber's car. Let's have a look here. This is on board with Saber. Yeah, there's definitely a sizable gap now. It's 2.2 seconds between himself and Sibignani. So, and I believe a pass may be underway. Here it is. There is Ray Radal on the outside trying to take second place from David Saber. Is he going to get it done? It appears he will. He's definitely a nose ahead. Oh my goodness! No! Ray goes through the grass. He's lost control. He's going to straight line the chicane a little bit here. My goodness, he is so lucky to have avoided David, and David actually went back in that situation. He's down in fourth now, but that was an incredibly close situation. I'm so amazed that Ray was able to keep the car. He really wasn't under control, but still, that was incredible. Going through the S-curve, David Saber is now faced with the prospect of passing Schlapinski, Mr. Sideways, in this race. He's going to be taking that title away from KO, possibly, given what we've seen. I think I can probably turn off my race start graphic there, since we're already 8 laps done. So David Saber closing now. Well, he was for a minute, but he's kind of backed off now. Riding on board now with Cesarius, with Ray Radal just ahead. Heading into the hairpin here. Cesarius quite close to Ray at this point. I still find it amazing that I guess David must have just backed out of it because he saw what was going on, didn't want to get caught in an accident, and that's what led him to be. He's fourth now, though. He's finally back to fourth. So interesting. I don't see. Looking for Cesarius Schlapinski. There he is. He's right behind Ray now. So here we go. Attempting a pass on Ray Radal. Is he going to get it done going into the first chicane? No, he can't. He actually tucked back in. So apparently that Zach Speed Ford of Ray has got superior straight line speed, but now Schlapinski looks like he had a definite better roll out of that corner. He's right with him again. You can see David's back there with Nilsson now, after he had led the race early on, falling all the way back to fourth place now. Into the S-curve. Schlapinski has a little bit of a slide, but nothing too crazy this time. He's a bit more under control. Yes, Philip Vitacek out of the race. So we have 4 retirements now. But I would not be surprised if we see more towards the end, just simply engines saying uncle. Here comes Schlapinski. He actually, that's interesting. That's the second time he's popped out and had a look, and then he pulls back in. So apparently the terminal velocity of Ray's car is simply too high for him to attempt a pass. He may have a better chance to get him on the in the stadium section, actually. We'll have to watch closely there, because see here again, he's pulling out a little bit just to show that he's there. Sliding through that right-hander into the stadium section. Good contest between these two vastly different cars. And there's still, actually, Sibignani, his gap has decreased a bit. It's now 1.7 seconds. So Schlapinski and Ray are starting to reel him in a little bit. It could be that Matthew is just trying to conserve the car. We'll see. Another lap started. Sibignani in first. Ray is in second. Oh, look at that! Sibignani made a mistake! Exited the first corner slowly, and there goes Ray. He's going to try to take the lead on the outside going into the first chicane. Can he get it done? Sibignani definitely put himself in a tough spot there, but Sibignani looks like he's going to out-drag him to the first corner. Yes, he will. Ray stays in second place. Sibignani was really lucky there. He exited. Oh, he clips the curb there, but looks like he's going to be all right for the time being. Ray still in second. Ślepinski is in third place, but definitely Sibignani had a slow exit from the first corner. Heading down through the Pine Forest to the Ost curve. Not the chicane. It's such an automatic thing with me. No chicane. Straight on through. Right-hander. And slightly banked. Look at Ślepinski sliding through the corner there. All right. He's right tucked up underneath Ray at this point. So here's another opportunity to possibly pass him on. Great. Here we got a chopper shot. Is he going to pop out? No. It looks like Ray just has flat more straight line speed than Ślepinski does. And they're both about getting out of the turns okay. Sibignani continues to lead in his Brodenstock Werth team number 5. I hear some other cars up there. We might actually be lapping somebody in a second. This is a long track, but I don't suppose it's beyond the realm of possibility. Nick Holliday is the last car running in 22nd position, so there's a possibility. Let's look out the front of Matthew's car. We don't see anybody, so he's got clear running just for the moment. Look at him saw the wheel through this turn here, so he's definitely having to work hard to keep that car underneath him. Look at that, he's dirt tracking it coming out of the final turn. That completes lap number 11, starting lap number 12. We're past half distance. Pretty even spacing with the top 5 now. Oh, goodness, Saber has run off the road, and he's gone down to 5th place. So apparently he had a poor exit there. Everybody got through, besides David. Everybody seemed to get through that turn pretty well, heading into the first chicane. Uh-oh, look at this. Ślepinski has a shot coming down the outside. He's got him. He is got by Ray Riddall. Now, can he get to the Ost curve before Ray does? Because we know Ray has more straight line speed. At least he's exhibited that. Ślepinski up to second place. Now, here we go. Into the Ost curve. Ślepinski slides through. In front of Ray Riddall. We're on board with Ray. You can see Sibignani in first place. Ahead of these two. Downshifting for the chicane. Look at Ślepinski. He is basically driving that thing on a 30-degree angle in every corner. He's loose, but he's making it work. And the first car that's going to be lapped is going to be Nick Holliday in a Lotus Esprit. You can see it up there. The only Lotus Esprit in the field. And Nilsson is well clear of David Saber. David Saber is actually, he's fallen way down. Where is he now? He's 9th place. There, you see him back there, that off-course excursion. And it looks as if Ray's car, Juha Boss's car might be missing a front piece. And if that's the case, that's going to be murder on his front tires. He's going to be understeering all the way through. He's lucky that he's got some banking here to help him. But if I'm not mistaken, he's missing a front piece on that car. It's amazing that he's still in the top 10. All right, back onto the long straight leading into the Pine Forest. There you see the Lotus Esprit of Nick Holliday in 22nd place, and he's going to be the first lap E of this group. Ślepinski firmly ensconced in second place now, making a very good pass on Ray Riddall into, oh my goodness, Ślepinski runs off the circuit just slightly into the grass. Is that going to cost him? It appears it will not, but he's starting to close on Sibignani, so we could have a battle for the lead here very shortly. About 7.5 laps to go now. Here they come to the Ost curve. You can see Holliday there. And he's going to probably make room for them on the straight following here. Look at how close they are now. Sibignani's lead definitely in peril. Schlipinski, and there's Karl-Heinz Becker, number 13, BMW. Here's Holiday making room for everybody. Good job. Getting out of the way, does not want to adversely influence the race for the lead. Heading into the second chicane. Schlipinski being a bit more conservative that time. Heading back towards the stadium. We're on lap number 13, next lap 14. Heading into the stadium section once again. I was so interested in this race, I forgot to turn my green flag or green light graphic off. My apologies. But still, really, really fantastic stuff. You don't want to miss any of it. So, oh, look at this. Schlipinski almost runs off the road there. And he is right behind. You see how it's banked right there, even on the last corner. There again. Coming on to the main straight. Ooh, it looks like he got a better exit. A battle for the lead ensues. Here's Schlipinski on the outside. Is he going to take Sibignani going into turn one? He's on the outside, not the preferred line. They go into the corner. No, Sibignani stays right with him. Oh, he has a slow exit. Schlipinski takes the lead. My goodness. And now Sibignani is being hounded by Reyrudal, so he doesn't have any time to rest. He's got to defend his second position now from Reyrudal as they come down to the chicane. Who's going to get there first? It appears, well, oh, we actually have a car that we're lapping here. This is going to bottle things up a little bit to start with. Schlipinski still sliding. Sibignani might have a chance to counterattack here just based on, it's K.O. McKeel's that they were lapping. So Sibignani taking advantage of the slipstream here. Is he going to be able to pass? He pulls out to the left. I don't know that he's going to have the room to do it. They're side by side, just barely touching there as they go into the Ost curve. Great racing. Schlipinski continues to lead. Sibignani second. Look at Sibignani. Oh my goodness! Sibignani's going to take the lead again because Schlipinski ran wide and onto the grass. There you go. Sibignani back into first place. Schlipinski falls to second just that quickly. And now he's under attack from Ray. Ray is going to have a look at him here, but probably not go for it. But my goodness, what great racing here. And you see there, Schlipinski driving on the absolute brink of adhesion. Here we come back towards the stadium section. You see how everybody goes over that white line right to the edge. Some people may even go as far as that curbing, but that's just to maintain your speed going through into the stadium. Coming up to the left-hand hairpin here. Schlipinski well in control. And he's going to be watching very closely because if Matthew has another bobble of some kind, that will be his ticket back to getting in front. Here we come to the first turn. This is a place that that Sibignani does not seem to like. See what happens here heading into this turn. Looking from the hood. Actually has a pretty stable exit there. Yeah, and Schlipinski a little further back now, so a little bit more of a cushion now for Sibignani. Reyrudal back there with Nilsson close behind. So these front four cars have basically broken away from the group. Heading towards the first chicane. Yeah, these first four cars all right together. And then in fifth place, here comes Ricardo Mendez, who's having an excellent race. He started 10th, so he's up 5 places. K.O. McKeel's running off the track. Nick Holiday coming through. He's actually lapped through the Ost curve. Going back to the leaders now. Very exciting race this so far. So when they come by this time, there will be 5 laps to go in the race. Still, it's going to determine, this race likely will be determined by who makes a mistake or who does not make a mistake. I'm still curious to see if they're going to be any cars that blow up simply because they've been under too much strain. We did see one engine let go, but that was after an accident, so it must have been, in addition to. But look at Schlipinski, right with Sibignani once again as they head into the stadium. Sibignani lights up his tires a bit as he brakes, but Schlipinski is not letting him get away. He drops back for a bit, but he's able to stay right with him. There they are in the same shot. These two are absolutely letting it all hang out here, literally and figuratively. Coming through the last two corners here at the exit of the stadium section. Sibignani continuing to lead in his number 5 Rodenstock team car. So there are now 5 laps to go. 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Into the first turn. Sibignani has a pretty reasonable exit. Ślepinski also. Ray Bradal's broken a bit away from Nilsson, which I'm sure he's happy about. And Ślepinski's dropped a little bit back from Sibignani, but we've seen how quickly he can catch that back up again. Wilkes in 6th place, and just ahead of him is Mendes in 5th, but he's got quite a distance to make up. Boss is in 7th without that front wing. Alberto Aquino in 8th. 9th, David Saber, after such a promising start, just fell backwards after a couple of incidents and is now just barely in the top 10. 10th is Drexler in the Jägermeister entry. And here's Simon Watman actually with a bit of a battle of his own going on right here. He's trying to fend off Liam Dolan and David Yunt going into the first turn here, but it looks like Liam's going to take a shot here. Yep, Liam on the inside here. This is only for 11th place, but these guys are going after it. Yes, Eric, lots of excitement. Lots and lots of excitement in this race. Let's go back to the front here, see what's going on, because we don't want to miss anything. Sibignani still leading. Ślepinski in 2nd, Ray in 3rd. Anders Nilsson in 4th, our winner last time out. And then there's a pretty sizable gap back to Ricardo Mendes. So the question becomes, can Matthew safely traverse these last few laps and keep Ślepinski at bay? We'll see. Heading into the next to last turn, now the last turn out of the stadium section onto the front straight is Matthew Sibignani. Taking a bit of a guarded approach there on the approach to turn 1. Heading through the first turn. You'd be amazed how easy it is to get this turn wrong, but they're both, well, a little bit of agricultural driving from Ślepinski there, but nothing to slow him down terribly. And you can see how Sibignani moves across, so does Ślepinski. He wants every bit of slipstream he can get as they're getting down to decision time here in the second round of our 1979 DRM Division II Series into the first chicane. Sibignani is well under control, so is Ślepinski. Because they realize if they make a mistake, not only might they lose the place they're after, they might lose it to Ray as well, because he's right back there, just waiting for something to go wrong. But Sibignani, this seems to be the part of the track where Ślepinski can reel him in a little bit. You see how close it is now. It's only 0.2 of a second. As they exit the Ost curve, he's right with him. Heading back towards the stadium section now through the pine forest. Down to the second chicane. Both of these cars looking loose now, especially on that exit for Sibignani. Ślepinski staying right with him. It looks like he's got a slight roll. But time is running out for him to make a move here. Oh, he's got a big roll now. He actually got out of that corner really fast, but I think he had to lift because he was slightly squirrely coming out of there. But here he is right with Matthew Sibignani. Oh, he's right with him now. Now as they come through the left-right combination, heading to the last two turns on the circuit. Sibignani feathers the brakes. Ślepinski has a great roll coming off of this turn. He might do it. He's looking on the outside. He's actually just on the grass, barely. Sibignani gives him the room that he needs. That's very sporting of him. Not going to be able to do it here, I don't think, but maybe down this straight. Oh, he loses just a tad of momentum there. Sibignani gets back to the correct line, but here's Ślepinski right with him. 3 laps to go in this race. the one they're on, the next one, and then the last one. Interesting. He actually gave ground to Sibignani there. I'm not sure what that was about. Maybe to build momentum coming through here? That must have been what it was, because I don't know what he would do that for otherwise. Maybe he's looking at the temperature of his engine and wondering if he's going to make it. I don't know. But these two have pulled away from Reyrendal, who's still in third. Fourth is Nilsson, and that's basically the top four. Then Mendez, who's a little ways behind. Wilkes in sixth, now entering the chicane. Slipinski has definitely dropped back, so when they come to the line this time, there'll be 2 laps to go. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, he lost the lead. Sibignani did. Let's look at a replay. How did that happen? Going back now. Let's see what happened here. Sibignani has given up the lead to... He must have done something coming out of the chicane. It must have been what happened. Let's run it back. There must have been an incident prior to when they were on this straight. Exiting the chicane, Slipinski must have, I'm sorry, there must have been some kind of, let's see, Sibignani in the lead there, and then watch what happens here. That's interesting. What happened there? Suddenly, it must have been a ping issue because he dropped behind him. That's really weird. Anyway, here we come now with 2 laps to go. I have no idea why that happened. The ping for Sibignani looks okay. So, but for some reason, he just suddenly was teleported behind Slipinski. I'm kind of scratching my head on that one. Anyway, here they come down the straight, second to last time. Radal is free and clear of, well, not really. It looks like Nilsson might be actually catching him a little bit. But he's got a ways to go if he wants to figure into this. So the leader is Slipinski. Oh my goodness. Dust being kicked up here as they clip the edges of the chicane. So not exactly the race that Anders wanted, but he is 2 positions up from where he started, and that's not too bad. 4th place, it'll be good points haul. Now, the question is, can Sibignani make up the ground that he lost? He's definitely a very quick car underneath him here. But Slipinski looks like he may be on his way to victory after persevering. Not a bad performance by Matthew either, obviously. He's up 6 places from where he started. And now they're really trying to just get through the chicanes as fast as they can. Sibignani realizes that he's almost out of time, so... And it looks like this is going to be pretty static here. Ray with Nilsson and Mendez. Wilkes all by himself. Alberto Aquino all by himself, except for Boss, who's still driving minus that front clip. I'm really surprised he's able to drive with that, the way it is. So here we go. 1 more lap to go around the Hockenheim ring, with Cezarius Slipinski in front as he exits the final turn here. There will be one more tour of the Hockenheim ring. Slipinski in the lead, looking back at Sibignani there. Through the first turn, everything seems all right. There's some cars that they have to lap ahead of them. Hopefully they won't make too big of a problem for them, and we can have a clean race to the finish. And you can see Nilsson starting to close in on Reyrendal back there, but I don't know that he's got enough time to do anything. If Sibignani has any magic in his back pocket, the time is now. He is closing. He's going to the inside. Is he going to get him on braking? No, not into the first chicane. Slipinski got there first. Exiting the chicane. Sibignani seems to have a lot of steam. We'll see what happens here as they get down to the Ost curve. This is the final lap of the race. Round 2 of our 1979 DRM Division 2 series. Coming down. He's right with him now. Slipinski defending on the outside. I don't think they touched there, but it was very close. Sibignani looking to find any room he can to get around Slipinski. He's clearly the faster car at this point. That's Claudio Augusto just ahead of them in the Alfa Romeo. Look at Sibignani. He's definitely pulling. He's going to pull out. Try a pass on the inside here. He's all the way alongside. Is he going to get it done? No! Sibignani, they touch. Sibignani runs off the track into the grass. He might lose second place. No, he does not. He stays in second, but that basically is the race. Ślepinski stayed under control. He was able to get through there cleanly. Sibignani lost control, and now he might lose second place. Oh, my goodness. Contact between the two. Sibignani defending on the inside. Ray gets through into second place. Sibignani down to third. So, and here comes Sibignani on the inside again, trying to go for daylight. There's nothing there. And here comes Cezary Ślepinski out of the last turn in just a minute here, and he'll be coming onto the main straight to take the win. A fantastic performance. The checkered flag is out, and there it is. Cezary Ślepinski wins round number 2 of our 79 DRM series. Second will be Ray Riddall. Third will be Nilsson, and fourth, pulling to the side, perhaps with a terminal problem just at the end, is Sibignani. Fifth will be Ricardo Mendez. Great drive from him, up 5 places from the start. Sixth, still in the stadium section, but coming out to complete the race is Richard Wilkes in his number 23 BMW Turbo. Pirelli shod as he hits the line. Here comes little Al. He finished third last race, so not as good as this time. He finishes 2 places up from where he started in 7th place. Here is Mikael Drexler in the Warsteiner, or sorry, this is Jägermeister, the other alcoholic beverage car. Coming onto he's fishtailing onto the main straight here in the Jägermeister car, taking 8th place. Nice job. And here's Juha, who I still cannot believe is driving without a front clip. And he's lost his rear wing too. So he's driving completely wingless, and he finishes 9th. That's incredible. 10th. Oh, this is a race to the line here between Johnny Aces, who we haven't seen much of, and Wattman. Wattman looks like he's going to take the last points paying position as they come to the line. Yes, Wattman takes 10th place. 11th is Johnny Aces. 12th, Giovanni Centorami. 13th is Liam Dolan. 14th, still running on the circuit, is Tim Hilla. Coming up to touch the line. Remember, you have to hit the line after the leader does, so these people all have to complete the lap that they're on. And there's Liam Dolan, who I believe has already crossed the line. He was 13th. Tim Hilla, here comes Tim. He's finished 14th now. 15th is David Wattman. 16th, Jules Bouchard. Never heard much from him, but he started way at the back. He's 10 places up at the end here, so pretty surprising that he was able to make up that much speed. That just shows you what good driver he is. 17th, Bruno Chacon. And these are all out of the race. 18th, David Young. Well, no, actually. No, it was Saber. Saber was out of the race right at the very end for some reason. 18th, David Young. 19th, Claudio Augusto. 20th, Nick Holliday. 21st, K.O. McKeels. 22nd, David Saber. 23rd, Filip Vitasek. 24th, Gray Riddall after the accident he had. And Nicholas Kirsten also involved in the same accident. And then 26th and last is Ashley Johnson. So that was round 2 of this series. At Hockenheimring, the first race was quite a barn burner as well, but lots of high-speed action in this one, quite fun to watch. We'd like to remind you also, well, we got to do the trivia question too. Let's do that first. Trivia question for you. Hockenheimring hosted the German Grand Prix for 30 consecutive years from 1977 to 2006, with the exception of which year? A, 1975, B, 1985, or C, 1995. No cars were out of the race as of engine, at least none that I saw. Maybe David's was engine at the end, but everyone made it based on if they didn't have an accident. Okay, time is up. I'll wait to see if anybody... B. KO says B. See if anybody else has a guess here. Barry Lynn Wilson says C. All right, well, if your answer was B, then you are correct. The Nürburgring in 1985, the short new version, hosted the German Grand Prix for that 1 year. And then they went back to hosting at the Hockenheimring the rest of the time. All right, remember, coming up at ISO next week, we go back IndyCar racing. Round 2 of 15 for the 1987 PPG IndyCar World Series. It's the Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach. Sunday, February 9th, green flag at 2000 CET. There are still some cars open, one-off drives if you want to join us. It is a very challenging race, 95 laps around Long Beach, high speed, and then very, very tight corners. Very difficult to keep the car under control, especially with turbo kick. Should be a very interesting race. Anyway, so that's going to do it for our broadcast here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. This is Jason White saying so long from the Hockenheimring. We'll see you on our next broadcast. Everyone, take care and be safe.